Hey, 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 what is going on, my peeps? What is going on, my peeps? This is your boy Venaris Scott, the Killakrane himself. It is November the 22nd, 2024 to him. What is going on, guys, today? Man, okay. I thought we had some comments going on forward. Um, we have got a great subject for you guys today. We're going to be talking about fantasy crossovers. Now, this is a fun topic that a lot of you guys have been discussing with me in more ways than one. First of all, I want to apologize to you guys for sending you guys the link and the subject kind of late. It kind of threw me off because actually I wanted to do something this Saturday, and it was concerning we were going to talk about Cobra Kai season 6 part 2. And as you guys know, there was only one part that is left in Cobra Kai. So I wanted to talk about that, but I can't do it live. And the reason being, just me personally, um, Cobra Kai, everybody hasn't seen the last part that was just shown, part 2 for Cobra Kai. So I was like, let me hold off on to that because I usually try to get about 2 to 4 weeks for everybody to watch that part. And I know the final part is coming out in February. So it is now in November. Um, yeah, by December. But I wanted to kind of get the jump on it and talk about part 2 and my theories for part 3 when everybody gets on board. So, if you guys want to discuss Cobra Kai Part 2, let me know, let me know, let me know. As of right now, I do not have anybody who is joining me. Of course, you can jump in. The link should be in the description if you are watching. If you want to join, excuse me. If you want to join with me, the link is in the description. So, excuse me. Yeah. So I'm trying to hold off on the subject at hand. I'm trying to let some people join in. So as of right now, I'm just going to kind of talk about different stuff. I have no birthday shout outs. Oh, also this Saturday I wanted to talk about the Mike Tyson fight. Excuse me. There was only one person. There was 3 or 4 people that wanted to join in on the discussion live. However, we couldn't coordinate a time. The only person that gave a suggestion, my boy Delsky, and he said he wanted to do it Saturday morning. However, there's an event I'm gonna take my daughter to tomorrow, and I need to be totally prepared. Maybe I can maybe talk about it tomorrow night. I don't think I have anything planned. Um, well, maybe. Gotta check with my girlfriend, see what's going on or whatever. See if, yeah, I don't know. It's kind of a spur of the moment thing, but we're going to see. But as of right now, we're going to talk about our favorite fantasy crossovers. But until then, we're going to talk about, I'm going to give some shout outs a little early. My boy Jeffrey Jeremillions. God, I gotta learn how to say his name. When Happiness Spreads. I have not read his book as of yet. I've been working on so many things, including as a matter of fact, I need to get on that, get you guys a picture of that. My new store, Venaris by Venaris, and it's supporting my brand. Um, what is the name of it? Repticip. Repticip. As a matter of fact, let me see if I can pull it up right quick. Um, Downloads. Let's see. It looks like it's pulling up right now. Give it a few seconds. Yep, that's my new brand right there, guys. Rep the Sip. That is my new brand from my clothing line. It's by Venaris. If you look on Printify, if you need the link, I'll leave the link in the description. But you guys, if you want to join, this is what I'm doing. I'm just kind of waiting for other people to join in right now. Let's see. Where's it at? Nope, it isn't here. You guys jump in at any time. Um, Let me see. Oh, well, it's not on here, so I'm not going to waste too much time. But yes, this is my brand, Rep the Sip. Rep meaning representing. The Sip is Mississippi. That's what that is for. So if you guys want to order that, I will leave the Printify link. If you go on our Facebook page, even the Facebook page for the Killakrane Speaks On, you will see the link for all of this. Okay. So if you need it personally, just put it in the description. Waiting for some people to join in, guys. Anybody whatsoever. I have a whole itinerary I want to talk about. Oh, my girl Monica. Monica Gates, Untold Lies of a Silent Heart. Let me move this out of the way. All right, there we go. Monica Silver is what she goes by. Untold Lies of a Silent Heart. I read through part of it. Like I told you guys before, I will not give an analysis of the book, even spoilers or anything, until I've read the entire book, which I have not yet. I'm going to be honest. So I'm working on it, and I'm working. Jeffrey, I'm sorry, I keep saying Jeremy. Jeffrey, I'm still working on your book. Of course, you guys can always check out my book, Blackjack and the Beanstalk. It's available on Amazon right now. And of course, my book, Planet Football and the Heretic Kitten. You can check all of that out on Amazon, KDP, or just Amazon, or whatever. Anyway, take that away. We're going to put our banner back up here. Today, we are talking about your fantasy crossover. So, we're going to start with a few. Maybe this will get people to join in. All right. One of the first ones I wanted to discuss. What if there was a crossover? I don't think this was ever done, but what if we had a crossover between those two? Mr. Fred G. Sanford and Mr. Archie Bunker. Who do you think would win if they were roasting each other? Who do you think would win? I think this would be an awesome crossover episode. Of course, both of these individuals have passed on. They are no longer with us. But like I said, this is fantasy. So I really wish they had done an episode with those two in there. Let me give some other ones. I'm not going to discuss them. I always bring this one up as a joke. Always myself, the Killakrane himself, against Daniel-san. That'll make great little matchup. Let's see. Who's the next one we have? We have this one right here. Inspector Gadget and Darkwing Duck. If they fought each other, who do you think would win? Do you think a good episode of them two coming together would be cool? Let me know. Let me know. Hold on, I gotta get something over here. Yeah, I'm just holding out on time until you guys. I'm sorry, I gotta handle something right there. Not bad, not bad. Anyway, what do you guys think? So the next one right here. If you had a choice of having a master, which master would you rather have? Would you rather have Mr. Miyagi, or would you rather have Master Splinter? I'm sorry, guys. I'm taking a pill real quick. One teaches you ninjutsu. The other one is a master of the ancient, well, it's not ancient, karate. A lot of people think that karate is ancient, but you guys have to realize that the telephone, the TV set, they're all older than karate is. Japanese karate, at least. So, which ones would you choose? Join in, guys. You can put in the comments. If you don't feel like joining live, that's fine. Let me see. Here's another one. You guys remember these shows? These two shows? It's called Charmed, and the other one's called Supernatural. Now, I love those two shows. They were great. I've always wanted to see a team up between those two. Of course, I think if the two fought, it'll probably, well, it just depends on the writer, because I can see it going either way. Because there's four Charmed sisters, and Sam and Dean, especially if they have, I hate to do the whole Batman thing, prep time, then yeah, Sam and Dean's gonna come out. Oh, by the way, Dean, the guy who plays Dean, he's gonna be playing Batman, a live action Batman. It's about during time, if you ask me. All right. So anyway, what do you think? What do you guys think? Here's another one. Would you guys, if you could do a fantasy crossover, let's just pretend it's the late '80s, early '90s. Would you guys like to see a Fresh Prince, Family Matters crossover? Now, here's the thing. The reason why I brought this up is because I saw an episode of Family Matters, and you guys know which one I'm talking about. It was at the end part, and they were doing like little funny skits or something, and the little boy said, "Yeah, he does look like that." The guy who played Carl Winslow looks like the dad from Fresh Prince, and so the dad from Fresh Prince walked in on set, and they laughed and everything, and they said, "Hey, Mr. James Avery," and I thought, well, wouldn't that be cool to have a crossover between those two shows? So, what do you guys think? Let me see the next one. You guys jump in at any time. I'm checking comments. You guys want to jump in live? What would a crossover between those two look like? The Power Rangers and Transformers. I mean, the Power Rangers, once they get into those Zords, they kind of remind me of Transformers anyway. So, what do you guys think? How would that go? Okay, another one. And I think one, of course, the idea for one was taken from the other. And I'm sure you guys would agree with this. Jim. Now, I believe Hannah Montana's whole deal came from Jim. Now, Jim is a little bit more mystical and there's a lot of technology and magic and all that stuff, but you can clearly see the similarities between Jim and Hannah Montana. Of course, Hannah Montana came much later. Jim was a Saturday morning cartoon, which a lot of boys actually watched, but they didn't want to admit that they watched it, but they did. All right, the next one. I'm just going through these real quick just to get people to join in. Um, these two individuals, Cartman and God, my brain is so crazy. It just slipped me that quick. What's the guy's name? The child from the Boondocks. What if they were going against each other and just kind of insulting each other? Who do you think would win? Who do you think would have the best insults? God, what is that guy's name? It's gonna come to me after a while. So anyway, let me pull this up here. Okay, next one. What is a crossover between them two? Deadpool and Freakazoid. Oh my God. That will be the wildest fantasy crossover you have ever seen in your freaking life. I mean, both of them kind of use the, breaking the fourth wall that's in storytelling. And I believe this would be a good little thing. Good little crossover. What do you guys think? I'm gonna give my opinions after a while, but I'm just waiting for people to join in. Excuse me. I started a little bit late. Sorry, guys. I started at about 7:10 or something like that. I let time slip by me, and I had some other stuff to do too. And what about these two? Okay, that's a TikTok notice. Remember the Rugrats? Y'all remember Muffet Babies? What would a crossover be like between those two? Could they combine? Oh, a lot of people have asked me, like, could Muffet Babies be released again? I mean, it's released on YouTube. However, Muffet Babies can't be released on DVD or streaming service or anything because there's a lot of ties to other movies in there, like Star Wars, and Disney owns Star Wars. I'm not sure if they own the Muffet Babies themselves, or I think they own the Muppets. Let me see who's trying to contact me. Hold on. Okay, that's Black Friday. Anyway, what do you guys think between those two? Okay. Okay. So I am just waiting. Because participation is key in doing something live. And I really want to thank all those who have joined so far. In the past, sometimes I get 3, 4, 5 people. Sometimes I don't get any people. But I appreciate y'all because this is a weekly thing. So excuse me, you guys don't have to feel like you're obligated to join every week, but I appreciate it if you join every week. Because other than that, I'd just be talking to myself like I am right now. But I understand you guys have some stuff going on, and I always try to pick a topic which interests everybody. And a lot of people will watch this later and then message me and say, "Hey, I forgot that today was Friday," and for the longest, it didn't feel like a Friday to me today. You know what I'm saying? So people can get mixed up on which days they are. So if you miss a day, that's fine. If you just want to leave a message in the comment section, that's fine with me as well, whether you're watching me on YouTube or Facebook. So I'm working on putting it on other streams as well. So let me take off this hat. It's a little bit hot. Woo! Gets hot up in here. Okay. So let me know, let me know, let me know. All right. Let me start off Inspector Gadget and Darkwing Duck. I think this would be an interesting crossover because a lot of times these guys bumble a lot. It's not like I mean, they're pretty good at what they do, but a lot of times they have outside help and they have the what's called the ex machina factor. So once they screw up, there's always somebody to come get them out of trouble. Now, yeah, now many people don't know this, but Darkwing Duck, I think it's very apparent though. The Darkwing Duck is very much a parody of Batman, and but he what do you call it? What's the word? Monologues a whole lot. Darkwing Duck does. He does this "I am the terror that flaps in the night," blah 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 blah, and he comes out of the smoke in the darkness, and his main weapon is that little smoke gun. Now I'm not an expert on either one of these guys, but Darkwing Duck's main attack that I've seen is the smoke gun. And he has some other gadgets, a grappling hook, and he's kind of like Batman, where he comes up and he has these gadgets that come out of some of everywhere. He seems to be great in hand to hand combat way. Let's see what we got here. David, what's going on, my man?
Hey, what's up, Mr. Scott?
Hey, you doing all right?
Yeah, I was gonna hop on. I might be on in 15 minutes. I just want to let you know I am at the store right now getting some Thanksgiving stuff, but I will be on in like 15 minutes if you're still on.
I will
I'm just helping
definitely.
them moving stuff in the car and stuff, so I gotta help them with that before I, get home. So
Oh,
I'm just letting you
definitely.
know I am gonna hop on.
Hey, if I wasn't doing this podcast, I'd be doing the same thing. So handle your business, man. I'll definitely still be on.
All right, I'll be back in like 15 minutes.
Okay, appreciate it, sir. All right. He will be back on in about 15 minutes. So we are going to hold off on him for another 15 minutes unless there is somebody else that wants to join. So please join. And what we can do is you guys can bring me your fantasy crossovers or whatever. It doesn't have to be a versus thing. I know I put Darkwing Duck versus, Inspector Gadget. However, it could be, excuse me, like I said right here, this is a crossover. This would be a show where those two team up and they try to defeat some stronger foe or something like that, and where the universes collide, so to speak, because there's no discrepancy, there's no contradiction that says that these two film genres are not in the same universe. There's no contradiction. So if you guys have an idea for a crossover, let me know. Let me know. Like I said, I'm trying to wait off until David gets back. But let me know if you got a crossover idea, or if you could just say, "Hey, here's a cartoon character, Deputy Dog, and who do you think would go good against Deputy Dog?" I can think that up. Now, Deputy Dog, I don't really remember him. I don't know why that name just popped in my mind. Maybe like Deputy Dog versus what's his name? Wong Kong Fui? Hong Kong Fooey? something like that. What was that his name? Hong Kong Fu is stronger than the average man. I don't even remember the theme song. I remember it was the same. He did. It was the same voice that did. What was the name of that guy? I can't even think of the cartoon character. Oh, Jazz. That was in Transformers. What is his name? Guys, help me out here. What is the name of the guy who did the voice for Hong Kong Fooey and Jazz from Transformers? What is his name? It's not Charlie. It's what is his name? So he did. I think he was a basketball player on the Globetrotters, the Harlem Globetrotters. He did Jazz on Transformers, and he also did, like I said, Hong Kong Fooey. And I'm sure he did some other voices as well, a number of other cartoon voices. He's no longer with us. Um, God, I cannot. Is it Charlie or something? It's like everybody knows his nickname, and I believe it was his name on the Harlem Globetrotters. What is his name? You guys are free to Google it if you want to. Please. It's going to irk me until I find out that guy's name, and I'm not going to look it up because I want to stay kind of hype right now and stay in the game, and so we can do these crossovers or whatever. Oh, my boy Damon says Hong Kong Fooey, number one super guy, quicker than the human eye. Yes, thank you for these lyrics, brother. Thank you. If you can Google that for me, brother, what is his name? I guess you're good for 50 Killakrane points if you can tell me what is his real name. Okay? And these points, before anybody asks, these points are good. If you ever watched the show, Whose Line Is It Anyway? The Killakrane points work in the same way that those points work on that show, Whose Line Is It Anyway? Okay? And you could get some from the Killakrane store, which is kind of in the same way. You know what I'm saying? I do have By Venaris. That's my store. Okay? That actually exists. Like I said, you can buy all the merch that has my logo rep to sip on there. However, the Killakrane store does not. You cannot redeem those points. Okay, it's imaginary points pretty much. So, if you guys have any idea for a crossover, I'm trying to wait till David gets back on. Okay, I guess I'll continue to talk about this. All right. So the gas gun that Darkwing Duck has, he has his grappling hook. He has some other little gadgets or whatever. He's pretty good with martial arts and hand-to-hand combat. Then we have Inspector Gadget. From what I can see, I would guess that Inspector Gadget has some type of nanobots or something because it seems like whatever Inspector Gadget wants to have, like a tool, he has a tool for it. It comes out of his hands, it comes out of his hat, it comes out of his feet. So he says, go Gadget, whatever, and it automatically gets created out of thin air, from what I've seen. But it doesn't seem, for me, Inspector Gadget bumbles everything. So if he says go Gadget skates, some skis come out and he skis down there, and then his niece Penny and that dog. Don't tell me. His dog's name is Brain. Okay, now I'm using my brain. Okay, and Brain comes out and they both help him. Okay, so but is he good with? I don't know. I can't really think of a time where Inspector Gadget actually intended to make something work, but he got it right. He's always, I mean, the criminal's right in his face, and he was like, "Hey, I'm Inspector Gadget. I'm looking for this criminal." And this criminal's like, "Oh, I don't know where that criminal is. I think he's over there." And he's like, "Well, thank you, kind fellow." So he's like an idiot. Now, Darkwing Duck is pretty good as a detective, somewhat, but he's very much full of himself. So he get up there and he'll monologue, and he'll just be so overconfident that he screws his own self up. But he knows what he's doing. He can identify the criminals. There are a couple of times where he bundles up, but he's pretty decent. So, who do I think would win? I would rather see them. I guess that'd be the first question. Do I want to see them cross over and work together, or do I want to see them fight each other? Or start off by fighting each other and then work together? I would rather see them work together. I want to see how they do that. You know what I'm saying? So, mm, that would be an interesting crossover if you ask me. Now, let's see. Guess we'll go to the next one. Mr. Miyagi versus Master Splinter. You guys, 100%, I would rather see them work together. I don't want to see them fighting each other. I believe it'd be an interesting matchup. But, of course, if, well, maybe not even then. I was going to say if Splinter grabs a weapon, it's all over Mr. Miyagi. But Mr. Miyagi knows a lot of ways to disarm an assailant. You know what I'm saying? So even when Chosen, who was a master at karate, came at him with a spear, he took that spear right out of his hand and broke it in half. Um, my boy Damien, he solved the problem. You get 50 Killakrane points. I said, what was the name of the guy who did the voice for Jazz on Transformers? He did the voice for Hong Kong Fooey, and he also did the voice. He was in the Harlem Globetrotters. He said his name was Scatman Crothers. Thank you. You got 50 Killakrane points. Okay. Thank you very much. So if you want some Killakrane points, answer the questions when I bring them up, okay? But thank you very much, sir. Okay. So we got to get back to the analysis. Join in, guys. You can leave a comment right here on Facebook, on YouTube. Let me check the comment section for YouTube. None on YouTube yet. None on Facebook. But anyway, let's get back to it. All right. Like I said, one's a master at karate. The other one's a master of ninjutsu. Okay. Both of them can be very deadly arts. Now, it's a little bit inaccurate saying that Mr. Miyagi is a master in karate. He's actually a master in a martial art called Okinawan Te. Okay? Okinawan Te means the hand. Okay? Now, Japanese means, in karate means open hand. Okay? But Tay was originally in China. The Karate Kid movie was fairly accurate to where there was an individual who traveled to China. He learned their open hand techniques and he came back and he mixed it in with Okinawan, traditional Okinawan martial arts, and he came up with Okinawan Tay, the hand. Japanese uh, occupied, not Korea, Okinawa. The Japanese people went over to Okinawa and took them over for a little bit. And so they mixed their Japanese martial arts with Okinawan Te, and they came up with karate. Like I said, this is not an ancient martial art. Japanese karate is not an ancient martial art. It only goes back to circa World War II. Like I said, the television set is older than karate. So is the light bulb is older than karate. The first telephone, the one you had to pick up and like that, that's older than karate. Just Japanese karate. Okay. So anyway, get back to this until you guys join in. All right. So. Karate. I don't know. I want to see them work together. I just can't see them two fighting. Of course, being that Splinter is a mutant, I think he would have the strength advantage, probably the agility advantage, because you know what I'm saying, he has special powers that came with the mutagen. So I think it would be a slight advantage, but I don't think either one would be trying to hurt each other. I think both of them would try to learn from each other. Okay. And they would be very much best friends. I mean, they sit there and they talk all day, they meditate all day. I can see them working together. Even the Ninja Turtles learning from Mr. Miyagi and vice versa. I can see Daniel's son learning something from Master Splinter. And they work together and they would defeat some type of enemy. I don't know who it would be. Okay. But this would be absolutely great, to see, especially if you had like the foot soldiers who were human, like they were in the 90 Ninja Turtle movie, because in cartoon they were robots, and they had to be because back then you had censorship, and you don't want to have kids watching the Ninja Turtles cut open actual human beings like they were in the comic books. So they had to make them robots. So it'd be very interesting. Very interesting. Um, let's go to the next one. Yep. The Charm ones. We talked about this. Charm ones versus Sam and Dean. I love these two shows so much. As a matter of fact, when I get off from here, I'll probably watch. Excuse me. Episodes of Charmed first, then I watch Supernatural. I didn't watch the final episode of Supernatural, but I heard what it was about, and it was seems super sad and a great ending for the show. I still have not seen it because once I heard the ending, I was like, well, whatever. But anyway, the Charmed ones, once they combine their power, it's kind of like Captain Planet. I needed to put him on this list too. Who would be a good matchup? Stop right here. Who would be a good matchup for Captain Planet? Somebody who's kind of equal to him in a way. Okay, I need to know. But the Charm ones have their individual powers, just like the Captain Planet people do, the Planeteers. And once they combine together, that's when they're the most powerful. Okay, so they actually have powers. Sam and Dean, from what I understand, they don't per se have powers, but they know a lot about spells and stuff. So they probably know some gidget gadget way that they could probably block the spells from the charmed ones in some kind of way. I don't know. And I know that Sam and Dean have this tattoo or something that's on their rib cage to the point where they can black out certain magic, well, demon possessions. Okay. So they can't be get possessed by demons. But I'm not sure about magic incantations. So it will be kind of interesting. Um, Sam and Dean, they of course they have some great hand to hand combat, but so does it's not Prue. Who's the one that Alyssa Milano plays? Alyssa Milano plays what character on the show Charmed? Who does she play? 50 Killakrane points, if you can tell me. But I think that ultimately, if those two fought each other, the charm ones will probably come out on top. It just depends. Like I said, it depends on how much prep time they have. What are they fighting over? Where are they at? Do they have access? Because the charm ones need that book of spells. What is that? Is it called the Book of Spells? It's been a while since I've seen it. It's been at least what was it, 2024? Um, it's been at least 5 years since I've seen the Charm Show, reruns of the Charm Show. And same way with Supernatural. It's probably been about 5 years since I've seen that as well. It's been a lot going on in the last 5 years for me, 4 or 5 years. But I don't know. Just because of the spells themselves, the charm ones don't even have to be in the same house or the same geographical location as the Sam and Dean. So, but some of them have some pretty good hand to hand combat, but not in the sense that Sam and Dean have. So it just depends on the situation. I would like to see both of them fighting together. I really would. Against some demon that both of them just can't defeat by themselves and they have to combine or whatever. I don't know. I don't know. So, what do you guys think? I'm gonna save a little bit for David, but you guys can definitely join in. The link is in the description. It should be in the title if you guys want to watch it. Let's keep it going. Fresh Prince and Family Matters crossover. This would be great. How would they do it? Probably Will going to college. I actually liked it when he was in high school. Um, but his college days were pretty good. He was pretty good. Um, and let me see, how would that work out? I know that Uncle Phil and Carl Winslow would be great friends. So would the two Aunt Viv, the well Aunt Viv and um, Harriet Winslow. And coincidentally, these two were played like the Harriet Winslow and the Aunt Viv were played by very strong, dark skinned sisters, and then they were later replaced by lighter skinned sisters. The lighter skinned sisters did a great job. They were excellent actresses, very dignified, great at what they were doing. However, they were not good. I'm not trying to get into this light skin versus dark skin thing, but I'm just saying that's just the fact of the matter. You know what I'm saying? Once they were replaced, it kind of changed the whole dynamic of the show. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I can't hear you, man. I'm a log in and I'm gonna log back out because I can't hear you.
Okay, can you guys hear me now? Let me know. Give me a thumbs up, something, guys. Okay. I see we got a couple of people that are watching. Let me know if you can hear me. Okay. If you can't, looks like when I plugged in something else, when I plugged in the mouse, the microphone went out. So if anybody could give me a comment and just let me know if y'all can hear me. Can y'all hear me? Yes or no? Yes, no. Can y'all hear me? Because I can't tell if y'all can hear me or not. So I'm looking at the comments. I'm looking at the comments. Just waiting until somebody can give me the thumbs up. Can y'all hear me? Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we got two people that's finna join. We got Lamar who's logging back on, and we got David who said he is going to join in about 15 minutes. Take your time, brother. I don't want you to trip and fall. You getting them good Thanksgiving groceries, which I will be doing right now if I was not doing the podcast. So. Y'all like my British accent? So let me know if you guys can hear me or not. Okay? I am waiting. Um yeah, looks like we got somebody that's trying to join on. I will hold on for just a minute. Looks like the red light is on my microphone. Microphone check 1, 2, 1, 2. Microphone check 1, 2, 1, 2. Can y'all hear me? Yes or no? Can you hear me? Yes or no? I just made a new song. So come on, guys. I want to talk about this subject. So come on. Somebody tell me, can they hear me? Can they hear me? Um, hello. Okay, okay. Let me text Lamar and see if he can hear me. Hold on. Uh, can you hear me now on the podcast? Question mark. So this is what happens when I don't have a crew to work with. If you guys want to join me, Killakrane Productions, I will be more than happy to put you on and we can grow together. If you have a podcast or a book or anything that you want for me to help advertise, just let me know. Just let me know. Okay? So, yeah. So let me see if I can share a screen. Let's see. Easy is with two monitors. I ain't gonna experiment with that right now because it might mess something up. But yeah, I'm trying to wait for the guys to come on here. Let me holler at my boy Marzell. Uh, let's see. Hey, bro. Period. Check and see if you can hear me on the podcast. Question mark. All right. 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 Bark, chicken, bark, chicken head. 25 Killakrane points. What song am I singing? What song is that come from? What's the name of the song? What's the name of the group? Coming out of Memphis, Tennessee. What rap group is that? I give you 50 more Killakrane points if you can tell me what year that song was made. And pretty much you'll get the 50 Killakrane points because I don't know and I'm not going to look it up and check. Let's see. Who is this? Okay. All right. All right. Okay, just checking emails right quick. Lamar, where are you? Mr. Lamar, where are you? Mr. David, where are you? 50. Now I'm going to give 75 Killakrane points. If you can tell me what show that is from, I believe it was in the 1950s. Where are you? What show does that come from? 75 Killakrane points. Okay. That's not the text message I was looking for, but thank you guys for always sending me these text messages, sending me all this good stuff. Come on, guys. I'm ready to get into some fun stuff. So, okay, let me just get to the keep talking about it. Anyway, Mr. Fred G. Sanford and Mr. Archie Bunker. Who do I think had the best comebacks? Of course, I'm leaning towards Fred G. Sanford, but Archie Bunker, to me, I'm gonna be straight up honest, y'all. They were totally equal with the comebacks, with the responses. Um, they were equally racist. Oh my God, they were just it was just wonderful. And the racism, I don't know. People weren't as offended back then as they are now. You know what I'm saying? We could get away with a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? And we could stereotype any group and it'd be fun. Even the people, let's just say like in Living Color, they asked where, because they did their skit, It's Raining Men. No, Men on Film and all that stuff like that, where they had two individuals play gay characters who were doing analysis on movies and different stuff. And they asked the gay community were they offended. They was like, no, we find it very much funny. You know what I'm saying? We have some people in the gay community that acts like this, so we weren't offended at all. You know what I'm saying? So nowadays, everybody's jumping up, and I hate to say it, this can be a topic for another podcast. It seems that a lot of people who get offended are not even in the group that they say is getting offended. I don't understand that. I guess they need something to. Well, I hate to say anything. I'm not going to get into the psychology of it, but um, that's what it just seems like to me. They just need a cause to fight for. I mean, that's great. I mean, I can commend you for that, but I rarely for myself hear the people who are in the group get offended. You know what I'm saying? So just like recently, I'm just kind of wasting time here until my guests get back on here. Um, there was a thing about what was his name? Tim Burton, and they were saying that he's racist for not letting black people in his movies. Of course, Billy D. Williams was in the first Batman movie. There was a black dude, and there was Scissorhand. I mean, there's been some black people in his films, but it's not black people that's complaining about it. It's not us. And that's my whole point. Whenever I hear I'm offended, it's always from somebody who's not in that group. I'm not saying they can't defend those people, but I'm just saying, let them speak up first. Let them make the first move and say we're offended. Okay. But anyway, that's a topic for another discussion. We can have it. Please let me know if you want to discuss it. I will definitely bring it up. But anyway, so for me, these two, a tie, a tie. Let's go to the next one. Power Rangers and the what's the name? I think they did a death battle where they had the Megazord versus Optimus Prime. I'm not sure who won. Offhand, I would say, the primes come from a long lineage of fighters. They've been around for millions and millions of years. Okay, they have much more fighting experience than the Power Rangers do. The Power Rangers, I'm not sure about their power level, but especially in the Megazord stage, I can see later on if you're talking about the Ninja Zord or um, Turbo Rangers or something like that, maybe. But for the original Megazord, I don't see him coming on top on beating Optimus Prime. He's just way too skillful. You know what I'm saying? Plus, these are teenagers. And teenagers going against a robot that's been battling for millions of years, I just can't see it. So in a versus mode, I give it to Optimus Prime, but I would love to see them fight each other. I really would. I had often thought about too. What if you had like Rita Repulsa from the Power Rangers go against like Emperor Palpatine from Star Wars? What do you guys think? What do you guys think? I think that'd be a good matchup. You know what I'm saying? So, mm, my mouth's so dry. But anyway, I gotta keep this going. Let me know if y'all can hear me or not. Okay. Um. Yeah. This is Jim. For those of you who don't know, the Saturday morning cartoon from the 1980s, Hannah Montana. If both of these went against each other, I don't see them fighting. Of course, singing, I think that Jim would come out on top. Of course, because she has that technology behind her and all that magic and stuff like that. But hold on, Mr. David, what's going on, man?
Hello.
Did you get the yard bird and all the groceries in the refrigerator?
Yep. That's why I had
Yes,
to.
sir.
That's why I was a little 15 minutes extra late.
No, you good, brother. Man, I was just saying, man, I didn't want you to rush.
Well, I'm
I'm
back
glad you
now.
can hear me too, because Lamar said he couldn't hear me, and I think I had plugged in my mouse on one USB cord, and then the other one went kaputs, and I had to unplug and plug it back in. So,
Oh, did he have to hop off?
no, I didn't have to hop off. I just had to
No,
replug my.
did Lamar have to hop off?
Oh yeah, he did. He did. He said he'll come back on though. So let's get it started, as the Red Hot Chili Peppers said in one of their songs. So this first one right here. Inspector Gadget versus Darkwing Duck. Now, I'm going to take it from two different aspects. Would you like to see them fight each other or work together?
I think it'd be like they'd fight each other at first, and then they team up to fight a bad guy.
I see.
Because
Which one would you give the fight to?
I'd give the fight to Inspector Gadget. I like Darkwing Duck, but Inspector Gadget, he likes to pull out whatever wacky thing he has, and is like, "I got this," and then he delivers some wacky tool that he came up with, like the Darkwing Duck defeater or something like that he just had.
Right, right. So, what do you think? In those episodes of Inspector Gadget, he usually bumbles up. Like if he says "Go Go Gadget skates" and some skis come out, and for some kind of way, his ex machina, which is the dog named Brain, and his niece named Penny, come in and help him out. So, do you think with those two help, could they defeat Darkwing Duck?
Oh yeah, 100%. Especially with Penny, but like if it was just like a hand to hand, I think it'd be Darkwing Duck would have that handily. You know what I mean? Like without if Go Gadget didn't have his stuff on him, Darkwing Duck has it pretty clear.
Ah, I got you. And his daughter's name, like Darkwing Duck. I don't know if it's his daughter or his niece, Gwendolyn.
Yeah.
Who do you think would come out on top?
Was it like a Penny versus Gwendolyn? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, kind of. Let's start there.
I think Penny is a little bit more intelligent. I think she's the brains of the operation for Go Gadgets. I think strategically, I think she has a better mind for it.
Okay. Okay. So overall, you think that you give it to Inspector Gadget? You say?
I give it to Inspector Gadget, but that's only because of his gadgets. Again, without the gadgets, if Darkwing Duck has it.
Right. I was just mentioning that before you came on. It's like Inspector Gadget will go straight up to the main criminal. He's like, "I'm looking for this criminal," and the criminal will be like, I don't know. I think he's across the street." He's like, "Thank you, good sir." So,
But yeah,
um,
that's why I think if they team up, like some guy will be like, "That's the bad guy. Look, he has a mask." They try to
right,
fight him, and then they team up to take down the guy. That'd be the scenario.
right. I think it'd be funny as hell too, man.
Hmm.
Man. Any other thoughts on those two before we move on?
Uh, I think there's a Hot Ones episode involving Donald Duck, and they asked him if Darkwing Duck was related to him, and apparently he doesn't know who he is. So, uh, contrary to popular belief, Darkwing Duck is not related to Donald Duck because in the thing he said that he doesn't even know who he is.
Oh wow. That's interesting. because there was some parallels they were trying to make between Darkwing Duck and Ducktales. W- Now, from your mind, your memory, were those two in the same universe?
I don't think they've ever crossed over, but I think they might have. It might have been like some special, like a drug special, where they're like, "Oh, look at that! Don't do drugs, kids," or something like when they had all the cartoons come together.
Yeah, they had like Michelangelo and a bunch of the Alvin and the Chipmunks, and reefer is bad for you and all of that stuff.
I think if Venara was here, she'd mention that the new show, the new Ducktales, when they brought it back, had Darkwing Duck in it for like a cameo. I think.
Oh, they sure did. So I don't know if those two are in the same universe as well. So that's an interesting question because they changed a lot of stuff in the new Ducktales and even what's the name of the niece? Um, Not Gwendolyn. What's her name? Webby.
Hmm.
Yeah, she actually turned out to be a pretty badass. In the show, she was just super cute. You know what I'm saying? In the
Hmm.
first one.
Yeah, a good one would be like who would win, uh, the Chip and Dale or Darkwing Duck. Like if they were to go on a little detective mission, Chip and Dale,
Interesting.
they work together. They have the little own crew, the whole crew with them.
Now that would be cool. Especially you give the ex machina for the what's the one where you give him some cheese and his mustache curls and says cheese. What's his name?
I forgot. It's been a bit, but I just remember that they're like, they like to go detective and stuff.
Right. And they look like Magnum PI and Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
All right, for those of you who are watching, 50 Killakrane points. What's the name of the character from Chippendale's Rescue Ranger? The fat mouse, and he would eat cheese and say cheese, and his mustache would curl up, and he'd get like a superpower. What's his name? So, um, let's go on to the next one. All right, I got so many questions for you on this one. Who would you rather have for your sensei, Mr. Miyagi or Master Splinter?
Which Splinter? That one?
Oh yeah, I forgot. There's several iterations, but yeah, let's just go with that one.
I pick Mr. Miyagi.
You think so, and
I
why?
mean, he trained Daniel in like a month or two, and he became like a karate master. You know what I mean?
Right,
You can't deny the results. It took 16 years for the Ninja Turtles to get as good as they are. So it's like a question of do you want to learn ninjutsu or do you want to learn karate really fast?
right,
Yeah, I'd
right.
rather I'd rather learn karate really fast.
Yeah, he like gave him a crash course. They talked about that on Cobra Kai. It was like who was it? John Kreese was like he defeated my students who I've been training for years, and he had a student who learned like 6 weeks of karate, and he beat our asses and won the championship.
That's why I'd pick
Look,
him.
yeah, because he taught some deadly stuff, bro. We gonna talk about. I don't know if you're doing something tomorrow night. I'm trying to pick a time because Fidelsky said he wanted to talk about Cobra Kai season 6, part 2
Yeah,
tomorrow
I'm down.
morning.
I'm down tomorrow. I'm down tomorrow.
But
Just as long as it's not after. What time is it for you right now?
it is 8:09 p.m.
As long as it's not after 9, which I think you'll be fine with. As long as it's not after 9, I'm good. For you,
Oh,
9 for you. So I think I'm good. Because like at 6 o'clock, I do have something to do tomorrow, but that's PST, so like I'm 3 hours behind you.
oh, okay.
So
Well,
like by the time
I,
we're done,
I'm
we'll probably be done by then.
bro. I'm 46, so 9 o'clock is my bedtime anyway. That's why I kind of end this at 9. You know what I'm saying? So Uh, yeah. So that'll work. I probably want to do it at like 6 or 7 tomorrow. I really want to talk about the part 2 of Cobra Kai. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of stuff that I want to say it right now, but I just can't because I need at least 2 to 4 weeks for everybody to watch it. I don't want to give any spoilers. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
But tomorrow, if anybody's watching that wants to discuss Cobra Kai season 6, part 2, and any theories or anything, this is going to be the final part of the whole series. So Cobra Kai will be over with after this next part. So everything has to come together in these last 8, 10 episodes that they have. I'm not sure how many episodes. So just to let you guys know. But let's get back to this. Um, like I was saying before, with these two gentlemen, I can see them becoming best friends, and Daniel would learn from Master Splinter, and the Turtles could actually learn from Mr. Miyagi.
Hmm.
So, what you think?
I would pick. I love the Ninja Turtles more than I love Cobra Kai. Or, I mean Karate Kid, but I'd pick Mr. Miyagi. I mean he taught him very quickly is the thing. So like I'm like a let me get this over with kind of person. you know, and he teaches patience way better than Splinter does. I mean, I don't know. You seen that Ninja Turtles 2 with Kino? He was like, "Yeah, I gotta get out there and fight everybody," and he's like, "Patience,"
Yeah,
and then he just leaves anyways. Mr. Miyagi would have had that down.
right, right. And even when Daniel was losing his patience, he was like, "This bullshit, I gotta go." And he was like, "Just come over here, show me sand the floor, paint the fence." He was like, "Oh, I gotta show him what I was talking about."
Yeah.
So yeah, he's pretty good. And Mr. Miyagi always got some old shit to say. So I would agree. Mr. Miyagi, Splinter is a great teacher, but Mr. Miyagi is just wonderful.
Yeah, I
Um,
think no shade to Splinter. He's one of my favorite characters. I love that guy. He's a cool little rat. I'd pick Shifu over him though.
you
I
pick
don't know.
who is that?
Have you seen Kung Fu Panda?
You know what? Thank you for reminding me. I need to watch it. That's one of the movies where my children are like, "Daddy, come watch a Disney movie with me." And because I'm old and it be past 9 o'clock, I watch first 15 minutes and be asleep. So I got to watch that again. Thank you for reminding me. So
I recommend it 100%. It's like Ninja Turtles, but it's more kung fu based, obviously.
ah, it's got Jack Black, which I like a lot of his movies.
Have you seen Beverly Hills Ninja with Chris
Yep,
Farley?
I
Yeah,
sure
that
have.
it's kind of like that too. Like little fat guy doesn't know that like thinks they know karate and stuff, no kung fu, and then they just bumble around. It's very good, and then they actually get some skill.
Ah, I gotta get on that definitely. Hold on, I lost my feed. Oh, okay. Trying to get the comments as we go along. Okay, now we are back. Okay, so let's go to the next one. Have you seen both of these shows?
I have not seen either one of them.
Oh, bro, you got to get on these, bro.
Let me try to guess which one they are. I think the left, it looks kind of like Charmed, and the right is Supernatural, right?
Exactly, exactly.
I've only seen like an episode of both, and I couldn't get into them. They're both like very talky. They talk a lot. And I was a kid when I watched them, so I was like, it's not for me. A
It's
lot of
funny.
dialogue.
It's funny you should say that because I felt the same way about the whole debate between Star Wars and Star Trek. And when I watched Star Trek as a kid, I was like, they talk too damn much, and I don't understand what the hell they're talking about. How is this good? So Star Wars was like action and adventure, and spaceship shooting and stuff like that. It was action packed and lightsabers. And then Star Trek would be all about philosophy and societal differences. I was like, as a child, I was like, I don't like this shit. Now I'm addicted to it.
Yep. I might be into
So
it if I watch it, but I don't know.
say what's that?
I might be into it if I watch it now, maybe.
Okay. So I really can't talk too much on this. If anybody else who has watched these two shows, if you want to join in, I'm checking comments or whatever. I can always jump back, but we're gonna move on since he's never seen these shows. So let me see. I know you've seen both of these shows.
Oh yeah. Are you asking me to compare them? That's very.
Well, you can kind of jump in wherever you want to. So I'm not going to do the versus battle who'd win in a fight because these are not
You put in a fight, Uncle Phil or Urkel.
or Carl Winslow.
That is a
Let
good
me,
question, though. I mean, Carlton versus Urkel. Now that is a question.
man, who you telling? Even if they had an intellectual, well, I'm not gonna lie. Carlton is intelligent, but not Steve Urkel intelligent. I
Yeah.
mean, the brother made robots and time machines and all kind of shit.
One's like a fancy, the other one's smart. That's and one's
Right,
classy. One's like genius.
right. So the way
Is it like a which is a better show? Is that the question?
I guess if the two universes collide, how would if you were a writer, how would it go? You know what I'm saying? Like, how would you see the first episode going? You know what I'm saying? Like, what would happen?
Okay, so here's what happened. It'd be like at the end of an episode, and then I have like Uncle Phil walk up and be like, "Wow, he does look like the dad from Fresh Prince of Bel Air."
Yep, I've seen that episode.
No, it's a very hard question because like these are a lot of characters to be putting together. Like if I had to pick like two, maybe I would interact. Like I'd have Will Smith show up on like Family Matters first, and
Okay.
he'd be like, "Wow," I don't know, something like that. I'd have the biggest characters, like I have Urkel show up, like on uh, what's it called? Show up on Fresh Prince, and I have Will Smith show up on Family Matters, and then I have like a third one where they all come together, and like maybe the two of them get into some trouble, like Will Smith is like, "Hey, help me with my homework or something," and then Urkel's like, "Okay," and then they get into some trouble, and the families have to bail them out from their little mishap. Uncle Phil shows up and helps them from their little, mistake.
Oh, right. And then both of the parents have to come and bail them out. I was thinking as well. I was discussing a few scenarios. Of course, the first one I was thinking about like Will and Eddie get into some crap, but I was thinking like Judy and Ashley. The whole shtick about them not being old enough to get in the party. They always have one of those two episodes, and you know
I
somebody
just
had
realized I just got a good idea. Which was the one that just disappeared up to their room?
Judy.
Yeah, have Judy show up on Fresh Prince and then be like, "Oh, that's where you've been." Yeah, she like, she didn't just disappear. She kind of ran away, and then she like ends up at like the house from Fresh Prince, and then they find her there, and then that's where they interact, and then like Judy's like hanging out with Will, and she's like, "Yeah, I like it here, way better than over there."
Ah,
And then
interesting.
and then they have to like get her to come back and stuff. That'd be my way, because like, oh, we wrote her off, but we forgot to bring her back. So that's the explanation. She ran away.
Man, that would be an interesting retcon for what happened.
Because she just disappears. You know what I mean? She doesn't show up until like the end of the series, maybe. I don't know when she shows back up, but like it'd be good an explanation. It'd be a good way to get that crossover.
Right, and give us some clarity. Speaking of which, like I said, guys, if any of you guys are good with working, I don't care if it's AI. I've already written the whole script for my Family Matters I guess legacy series or whatever, and it's like the final episode of Family Matters. So it's done in 2024. What have these people been doing all this time? What happened to Judy? All of this stuff. So if you guys, I'm trying to make my YouTube video of it. If you guys want to help me, please let me know, because I'm trying my best to figure out this AI stuff, and it'll be something, just from a fan's point of view, to give me some clarity, because the last episode of Family Matters sucked, and it was just stupid. So I needed closure. So that's why I wrote it. But I need somebody to help me make this video if you can. But back to this. You said, okay, Judy goes to the Fresh Prince house, and she's been there, and she, really likes it, and they got to bring her back. What other scenarios? Because within one episode, there's usually like three different there's two fillers. There's one main storyline and there's like two fillers. You know what I'm saying?
So it'd be like the first one would be like, the main one would be Judy running away and ending up at the Fresh Prince house. I think like another one would be like Uncle Phil. He tries to find like a the find the family she came from legally and stuff. Would be like, oh, where is she from? And then like tries to find a way to bring them around, and then he gets into some trouble because they think that she kidnapped her, you know. And then he's like,
Right.
no, no, I did not do any of that. And then they have a little interaction there. And then you'd have like another one where the Urkel comes up with a little like machine or something to be like, I'll bring her back.
Oh.
And then Carlton like will be like sidelining with that, like, oh, that's actually genius. I'm gonna steal that, and
That would be something else.
there's a lot of fun stuff you could do with that. I like the idea.
Oh yeah, that's like tons of stuff. I had mentioned before that the parallels between those two shows, the one that sticks out in everybody's mind, is that you start off with a very strong, dark-skinned black woman as the mother, and later on that one leaves, and you're left with a lighter skin substitute. And both of those women are still great actresses, but they just don't have the same essence and hardness as the original mom. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, even Fresh Prince, like the moment Jazz saw her, he was like, "Wow, you sure look different after the pregnancy."
Right, right. Oh my god, that was funny. And the original mama had a fit when she saw that episode. It's like they making a mockery out of it. You know what I'm saying? And they fired me or whatever. But yeah, and the mother from what's her name, Joe Marie Payton or something, from Family Matters, she said that the show had ran its course, and I 1000% agreed. I love Family Matters, one of my favorite shows of all times, but it definitely ran its course. It was time for that show to end.
It could have gotten a sequel series, like how Full House did. I think there's stuff to explore like that. But
Yeah, and they came to Jaleel White about making a sequel series, and he said all of the storylines sucked, but he said I just can't find one where what I'm saying I just grab onto. You know what I'm saying? So he hasn't seen a script that's good enough for him to create a sequel series.
So he's down for a sequel series. He's got to have a good enough story.
Yeah, it just can't be thrown together though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The whole children thing. I don't know. So it have to be pretty original. So let's move on to the next one. Let me check the comments. Daryl West says you could use a time machine in your story to seamlessly blend the pot. Yeah, absolutely. Once you bring a time machine into it, I'm looking at you, Marvel. There's always something else that you can do, and you can retcon your stories and bring other people into it and all kinds of stuff. So I agree. Appreciate you, Daryl, and appreciate you, Damon. You commented earlier. Appreciate you guys. Let's move on to the next one. Oh, you're gonna like this one. I believe you've seen both of these shows.
I've only seen one of them.
Which one have you seen?
Sanford and Son.
Okay.
I might have seen the other one. I just probably a bad shot. What's it called again?
It's called All in the Family.
Oh no, I haven't seen that one.
It has a character called Archie Bunker, I believe, played by Carolyn. Yes, and this is a dude's name. Carolyn. What is his name? I forget the name of the guy. I think it's his first name. He played in The Heat of the Night too. But it was about it was a no, I was going to say it's a spinoff of the Jeffersons, but that's the other way around. The Jeffersons was a spinoff of All in the Family. So these two are two individuals. They're great comedians. There was a lot of racism in their, it's one of those things that wouldn't age well nowadays. And so, what do you think, since you've seen Sanford and Son, what do you think of that show? Are you a fan?
I love that show. I love that. I remember there was a movie called The Car Wash where it had what's his name, Richard Pryor in it, and it also had George Carlin in it, right? And I was like, oh yeah, they're both in the same movie. I can't wait to see that. And then like George Carlin walks on, and then he's like, oh, there's my bus, and then leaves right away. So they don't even interact in that movie. I thought it was gonna be the funniest stuff because those two are hilarious. They didn't even interact.
Right. A missed opportunity, huh?
Yeah, that's like the only film they're even in the same cast as. They don't even appear on screen at the same time.
Right. Oh my God. Oh, missed opportunity. Missed opportunity. Um, let's see. So let's go to the next one. Have you seen both of these shows?
Transformers, I haven't seen all of it, but I have seen all of Mighty Morphin. I love that show.
Now, of course, you know Mighty Morphin Power Rangers is still going on today. What seasons have you seen?
Let me think.
Or which versions of the Power Rangers, like Turbo, the original, Ninja?
Yeah, I gotta get a list here because there's a lot of them. Hold on. I've seen. Shoot, there's that's not that. I've seen the first one, Mighty Morphin. I've seen Turbo. I've seen In Space, Lost Galaxy, Lightspeed Rescue, Time Force. I haven't seen Wild Force. I've seen Ninja Storm, Dino Thunder, SPD, Mystic Force, Jungle Fury, and Samurai, and Mega Force.
Okay. Ooh, you've seen more than I have. You know, I'm not
I
going to
love
lie.
this show. I love this show.
I do too. I'm not going to lie. But, you know, okay. So for me, I saw the original, of course, fell in love with it. It was like Saved by the Bell and dinosaurs and Voltron and all that mixed together, martial arts. Then I saw, what was the second season? You know, we had the
Zeo,
white power. Huh?
the second season.
I think it was the second. I like to go by, you know, when they changed their Zords and stuff like that. And
Oh,
then,
that's what.
yeah, so it might have been 3 seasons before they changed the Power Rangers up. So then it was like I think the next one was Ninja Rangers, and then
It was the Alien Rangers, but they looked like ninjas, but they called it Mighty Morphin Alien Rangers.
oh, interesting. Okay, because it was that the one where they first brought Tommy and he was the Green Ranger and kicked their asses. Then he turns to the White Ranger.
That's Mighty Morphin.
Okay, that's Mighty Morphin.
And
Then
then
the one,
they get turned into kids, and then like they have like another team, a bunch of aliens show up, and then they're like, "We're the Alien Rangers, but we look like ninjas."
oh, so okay, I'm trying to remember it. I'm trying to piece it all together. Then my girlfriend Aisha came in there. My God, I had such a big crush on her. She was just so freaking gorgeous. But when did she come in?
Oh wait, no, that she was the Alien Rangers is after that season, but the Aisha showed up, and then that's when like Trini and Zach and Zach, my favorite Ranger, disappear. Jason, they all disappear, and then they came back. They came and then they did the Ninjetti, and then they did the movie, and then that's when the Alien Rangers came out.
Ah, I see. And I remember in the real life, the original Power Rangers left because they figured out how much they was getting paid, and they didn't want to make them part of the union and all of this stuff.
Which I'm still a little mad about. I don't like that because the kids were so mad about Tommy leaving that they sent them letters and messages and stuff like, "Hey, we want Tommy back," even though they're gonna give him his own show. They wanted Tommy back on the Power Rangers. And then they made such a big stick about it. But when, Trini, Jason, and Zach disappear, they're like, that's okay.
Right. And then, my God, they came back at pieces. Well, of course, Trini, unfortunately, she passed away in a car accident much later, which
She
was...
never got a chance to come back, but I think she would have, given the right, right time. But
Yeah.
Zach came back, and Jason came back in Zeo.
He sure did. That's another one that I saw. And it was Turbo Rangers, too. When did that come in?
Turbo Rangers is after Zeo.
Okay, it was Zeo, then Turbo. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And from there, I think Zeo was the last time I really was into the series. Then I sporadically watched it, and then I saw like a few episodes, like the one where the I don't even know who the Power Ranger was, but there was Red, and they destroyed Zordon, and his essence came out and killed Rita Repulsa and took away her evilness and took away Lois Zed's evilness. And I was like, well, what's the point of me watching this anymore? You know?
Oh,
So
that's in space you're talking about. Yeah.
okay, that's in space.
Yeah, it's Power Rangers in space. They killed off Zordon, and then that's like the turning point when everything they stopped having Zordon appear as the leader, the mentor.
Right.
But I actually very much like some of the seasons after Zordon because it gave them more stuff to write with. It got more creative because then they couldn't just bring back the original series and have it as like a crutch. But they do have crossovers and stuff. I think it was there's a show called Operation Overdrive which I haven't seen that had a big old crossover with a bunch of the era with Disney before Zordon died. Like after Zordon died, they had they had Adam, not Zach, show up, and then they had a couple other Power Rangers. The good one that I recommend if you like the Mighty Morphin is Dino Thunder. Dino Thunder
Ah,
had Jason come back, not Jason, Tommy. I was thinking of his actual name, Tommy, come back, and
okay.
it's like a good continuation of Mighty Morphin.
Okay. We got a comment. Daryl West said a more believable version of a time machine would be for a main character to have a lucid dream, like Scrooge did in A Christmas Carol. Interesting, interesting. It could be a shift into and I'm sorry we was talking about Power Rangers so long. I would like to talk about that a little bit later. But anyway, this whole dream thing that you're talking about, that would be great. It would be more like it could be like parallel universes sticking together and yeah, he have a lucid dream, kind of like how can I put this? What was the name of the thing where a person, you know, God, what genre was that? Where they dream something and it come true, or I don't know. I'd have to think about that for a while because if I start explaining it, I'll probably start adding several different movies together. But that's a great point, Daryl. Thank you for that. And that's got me thinking. I'm gonna have to come back on the next podcast and do some research. So, what's the one where like reality changes because the person dreams? I think it was a movie or episode of a TV show. I cannot think of it. God, you got me thinking, Daryl. God, you got me thinking. But thank you, brother. Thank you. Um, let's get back to it because we got 30 minutes left. Um, would you see them fighting each other? Okay, let's. I think Death Battle did this, but the original Megazord versus Optimus Prime. Who you got?
Uh, I think the Megazord, the size is different. The size difference is just a big, you know, a big part of that. So, the Megazord is like Godzilla size. It's a very big Zord. It's the size of like a Mecha Godzilla. So like that thing could stomp on Optimus Prime if it wanted to. So unfortunately, Optimus Prime does not stand a chance. Well, it depends on the weapon, but like if it's OG, OG Optimus versus OG Megazord, Megazord wins. But like
Okay,
without anything like the Allspark or anything big like that, the Megazord wins.
okay. Um, God, what is the name of that? You know how when the Autobots, in particular the Dinobots, combine together and then they come together as a bigger robot. What is the name of that one? Is it Grog or God? So that just goes to show me I need to do a little research before I even do these episodes. So when not the Dinozords, but the Dinobots combine together, what is the name of that new combined robot that they make?
Volcanus.
Is it Volcanus?
It says like, I'm looking it up right now. Volcanus. It's like a volcano Zord.
Oh, okay.
Because you got Grimlock as the chest, Slug as the arm, Swoop as the right arm, Snarl as the leg, and Sludge as the right leg.
We're,
Those are some names.
I
But
love
yeah,
those names, by the way. Transformers had such interesting names, you know what I'm saying? And
hmm
So I don't know. They've got a crossover coming up with GI Joe and Transformers, but they don't have one for Power Rangers. I know there's a lot of copyright issues and stuff, but are you excited? Number one, to see a GI Joe and Transformers crossover. Number one, and number two, would you rather see them combined with the Power Rangers or the GI Joe?
I think GI Joe and Transformers crossing over has more potential. The thing is with Power Rangers is there's a lot of lore, a lot more lore they have to think of. Meanwhile with GI Joe, it's a lot less, a lot less lore. It's very easy, very simpler concepts. Power Rangers, as fun as it is, it has a lot of big concepts that you gotta like freaking, think about. Like, oh, why are they fighting and all this? GI Joe, it's like, oh, they're a military operation. Those are aliens. We gotta see what the heck that's about. Very simpler concept. Meanwhile, Power Rangers, it'd be like, oh, whoa, aliens. And then like Zordon, what do we do? And then they'd have to have a bunch of political stuff where it's like, not political, a lot of debates and stuff. Just a lot of high concept. Like they're here to defend Earth too.
Right, right,
Meanwhile, with
right,
GI Joe, it's just like, oh, that's the alien stuff. Let's get it, bag it, tag it. All that kind of stuff. Just stuff. It's simpler. It's simpler with GI Joe. You know.
right. More room for action and stuff.
A good comic though is Transformers and Terminator had a crossover comic that I recommend.
Really
Yeah, Terminator and Transformers had a good crossover.
interesting. I have to look that up because I never thought of something like that. That
Uh,
reminds me of
it's
a
pretty good.
versus. Uh huh.
It's pretty good, I would say.
Oh, great, great, great. So let me ask you this: one crossover that I had thought about a versus battle: Lord Zed from Power Rangers versus Skeletor from He Man. Who you got?
Uh, I got Lord Zed. He's got more powers than Skeletor does. In the show, I mean, he has like the Z staff he has, where it's like a big
Yes.
Z. He can like shoot like powerful lightning out of that. Skeletor will oh, that's just a weapon, and then you know what I mean.
Right.
Also, Skeletor's a little bit more goofy than Lord Zed. Lord Zed's goofy, but he's still like a conqueror of worlds. He's conquered bunches of worlds. He's dangerous. I think Skeletor can barely beat He-Man.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the only opposition really that Lord Zed has ever had is the Power Rangers, and they show up every now and then. And Lord Zed is like Frieza. He's like Frieza. He's taking over countless worlds. Meanwhile, if we call it little Lord frickin' Skeletor is more like Emperor Pilaf from the original series, little dude.
Wow. Huh. Interesting. Interesting. So let me ask you this then. Let me bring it down a notch. Emperor Palpatine versus Skeletor.
I mean, that's even more of a watch. I mean, Skeletor doesn't stand a chance. Emperor Palpatine is he's a demon in those movies. He took down Darth Vader, man. I'm sorry. If he took down Darth Vader, the only reason Darth Vader won is because he was so old at that point.
Hmm. And you know that I don't know if this is canon, but I think in the extended universe, um, the the Emperor helped design that suit, and he made it so it'd be very much subjectable to Force lightning.
That
I'm
goes
not
to
sure.
show. That goes to show how strong Vader is. He powered through all that. If that is true.
Right. um. Oh my God. Daryl says Skeletor has more memes. LOL. But remember, those are so funny, man. I'm glad you brought that up. Every time I hear remember, it is so funny. Appreciate that, Daryl. Let's go to the next one. We got about 20 minutes. We can go over if we want to, if we got to cover it. All right. Of course, I'm sure that other people, I'm not the first one to think of this. Hannah Montana is just a ripoff of Jim. Do you agree?
uh, kind of and kind of not. Here's the thing about this: Gem and the Holograms is more sci-fi than Hannah Montana is.
Of course.
I think also Gem is like more cartoony. Hannah Montana is more like the base concepts are similar. One's like gotta can't reveal that they're the pop star. You know what I mean? That's basic stuff, basic premise. But
Hmm.
other than that, they're entirely different shows. because one's like really cool. They got these magical stuff going on. Like, check this out. We got magical instruments and cool stuff. You know, we got a band. Meanwhile, Hannah Montana is just like some girl in a sitcom pretending to be, like normal and stuff.
Yeah.
They're
And I
very
don't
similar
understand.
concepts, though. I like the base concept, but that'd be like saying, like, Family Matters and Full House are the same concept because it's just a family show.
That's
Very
true.
different, though.
I never understood how she gets away with the whole Clark Kent thing to where she just changes the wig and everybody sees somebody different. Just like I know that there's lore with Superman to where his glasses are made from Kryptonian glasses or something and it makes him look different or something. But, she doesn't have that advantage. She's not from Krypton and her wig isn't made from Kryptonian technology.
I
So how
guess
do
it
they?
helps that the style is different too. Her clothing style changes, so that like I'm pretty sure Clark Kent doesn't dress like Superman all the time, and he also changes his posture. There's a clip of like a photo of him where he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm Superman by day," and then like there's a photo of him with the glasses on, and he like lurches forward and changes the way he walks around.
Yeah, yeah. And I guess they're not really looking for Superman to be like a regular person, you know. I can see that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I just really quick. What about these two individuals? If they started talking about each other and insulting each other, who do you think would win eventually?
These ones. I was about to say Gem versus Miley. Okay, that's a little weird. This one's. I think Cartman wins.
You think Cartman wins?
Cartman, like insult wise, yeah, but in a fight, Riley wins 100% of the time.
Oh, absolutely.
But Cartman, he doesn't have a filter. He doesn't know when to stop. Riley, after getting beat up by like Granddad, he shuts up. He knows when to stop. Cartman does not. He'll keep talking.
Who was the one that got the sword and the nunchucks and was fighting kung fu style? Was that Riley or his brother?
That's got to be Huey. I don't know. I know Riley doesn't know how to use nunchucks or anything. That's Huey, his brother.
Oh,
Huey's like
okay.
the smart one, the genius one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's the one to be making those plans and schemes and stuff, right?
Yep.
I didn't know that that was the same female, Regina King, that does both of those voices.
Well, yeah, she's a good actress. That's why I like her. I'm a big fan of her. Actually, I've seen her in a lot of her stuff.
Yep. Oh, she's wonderful. I've loved her ever since I saw her on 227. You remember that show?
Also, no, I haven't seen it, but I'm just saying, like she's you can barely tell when she's in a movie though. That's the thing. Like I used to watch Boys in the Hood all the time. I didn't even realize she was one of the girls at the party.
Yep. She was in Boys in the Hood. Absolutely. She was in
That's
Friday
why.
too.
Yeah, that's the one surprised. I forgot she was even the sister in that. She has such a big filmography. Like, oh, jeez.
Right. And she was Ray. She was the one Ray was sleeping with.
Yeah, oh yeah,
She has a
forgot about
lot of
that.
it. Absolutely agree. I'm not sure if you remember. I know you know one of these individuals. I don't know if you know the other one. Freakazoid and Deadpool.
Oh yeah, Freakazoid. I remember Freakazoid. There's like this whole little crossover. It's like, which one is Steven Spielberg's favorite cartoon? And then he's like, who are you guys? I think is this like what's the question here?
Both of them are break the fourth wall, and it's kind of hard because Freakazoid is a cartoon. So, Deadpool is a kind of a cartoon too. But both of them break the fourth wall. Both of them, but Freakazoid is an actual cartoon. So I don't know if it's fair to compare the two. It would be fairer to like do the Mask versus Freakazoid, but I don't know. Which one do you think, as far as fighting, would win at first? And other than that, which one do you think is like funnier? I guess I don't know.
Deadpool's I think is funny in an adult way. He doesn't really got Freakazoid. I think is funnier like a goofy way. There's a lot more
Hmm.
adult humor for Deadpool. Freakazoid would win in a fight though. He's got the cartoon stuff. That's why.
Oh, okay. Which in a fight, which one do you think will win?
That's why I said Freakazoid.
Oh, Freakazoid.
Because I watched
Okay.
Deadpool versus the Mask, and the Mask won that pretty handily. So I don't think the Deadpool can have a good counter for Freakazoid's cartoon powers.
Yeah, that's why I was saying that the Mask and Freakazoid would be a little bit closer. But then again, both of those guys are just, they have that cartoon. You can't die unless they want to.
Mm-hmm.
Then you can just bring them back at any time. So let's continue on. Now you can't do a versus battle because they're babies, but a cartoon where they both join together in the same universe. How do you think that would go? How would they cross over?
I wouldn't know. I was more of a Looney Tunes babies kind of kid, But
Oh, kind of like what's the name of that? Not Animaniacs, but
Tiny Toons.
Tiny Toon Adventures. Yeah.
Yeah, they had another one where it was like baby Looney Tunes, and they were raised by Granny and stuff.
Oh, was that like on Nick Jr. or something?
No, it was like Cartoon Network. But yeah,
Oh, okay.
they're like little baby Looney Tunes. It was a very good show. It was from the same era, I think. But I think it would be very interesting. I don't know. I forget who's the ringleader in the baby Muppets. Like who?
Kermit.
Yeah, I think Kermit and Tommy would get into some stuff. Like they'd come up with some stuff. I think Gonzo and Chucky would be pretty fun to interact with. I don't know, just very different. Angelica and Miss Piggy would get up to some stuff 100%.
I think that would be the most interesting point. Them two getting together and I don't know, because Miss Piggy, her main goal, she wants Kermit, and Angelica, I guess she's just super spoiled. Dude, have you heard this? This could be a good podcast too. Have you heard the urban legends behind like the Rugrats and stuff? They are so sad, man.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't like getting into them, but they're very sad. I agree.
I'm like, dude, what the hell? And it make you cry once you hear. I was like, why did y'all take away my essence? You know, it's like, man, I can't look at these cartoons the same way ever again. It's like all those urban legends are just so sad behind these cartoons.
Yep.
So, oh, I gotta keep on. As a matter of fact, that's the end of the list that I have. Do you have any crossovers, versus battles, anything?
Nothing that comes to mind off the top of my head. I normally do. I normally do, which is crazy that I don't have one right now. I always come up with some random stuff during the podcast.
Right, and we're always segueing into something else.
Let me think for a second here. Let me give it a shot. A good one I think would be like Karate Kid and Rocky. That'd be a cool crossover.
That would be interesting.
It wouldn't
Um,
be like a fight. I think like it'd be good interacting with each other. You know what I mean? Like because they're both little, both Italian American. They both like trained to become like the best of their sports. I think they'd be cool interacting with each other and stuff. That'd be cool.
right, and they're both like underdogs.
Yeah, underdog stories. Another one I think again I'm talking crazy here, but I know you don't. I know you and your friends don't like it, but I think Karate Kid 2010 collabing with Cobra Kai would be really good. Because even though like they're bringing it together in the new movie coming out, Cobra Kai and Karate Kid with the Jaden Smith would be really good to collab.
Yeah, I've often wondered how would that go, and I
I came
wanted
up
to.
with a pretty good idea. I liked it, my idea I had, but it's very different.
Well, different is great. I like hearing that stuff.
Well,
But
the Sekai Tekai, they said it's like a big martial arts tournament. They didn't specify it was karate in the beginning. It was like, this is the biggest martial arts tournament in, all of the world. And I was like, oh, it'd be like the Kumite, a bit different martial arts coming in. And then I was like, that's how Mr. Han and them get in there. It's a newfangled tournament. That's how Mr. Han and Jaden get in there because they have to fight. The what's it called? What's the Fighting Dragons, which is the bad team in the Karate Kid 2010, because Mr. Lee's like becoming the Mr. Kreese of his world, and he's like, we gotta take him down, and then
Right.
like they enter, and then he has to face off against the Cobra, the Miyagi Do people, and that's how they
Mm-hmm.
meet at the Sekai Tekkai. That's what a lot of people thought it was gonna be. They're like, they're gonna get Chang from Karate Kid 2010, the evil kid from that one. He's gonna be like a demon in the show. Everybody was excited for that, and then they didn't do that. But I was hoping they would.
They kind of did it with what was his name? Quan that was in
Yeah,
Cobra Kai.
he was good. I liked him.
Remember, no spoilers. No
I'm
spoilers.
just saying. I'm just saying. Like the show was good. I'm waiting for the next season, next part of the season. I liked it. That's all I'm
Absolutely.
gonna say on the matter.
And we're gonna talk about that tomorrow. I want to say 6 p.m., 7 p.m. I guess we could keep this whole vibe of 7 p.m. going. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So let's look at 7 p.m. tomorrow. I'm a message Fidelsky. You're in the group chat, so I'm gonna put you in there. I'm gonna put that message tomorrow, 7 p.m. We're going to talk about, first of all, we need to just end this discussion and let it all out on that Mike Tyson fight. We just need to let it all out.
Yeah.
It's so much that everybody wants to discuss. We've been posting memes, and everybody's got an opinion. I last saw an opinion by Sylvester Stallone, and he was pretty much saying, yeah, you can obviously see it was a fake fight, and Mike Tyson did it just to get money. You know
Well,
what
if
I'm saying?
anybody knows anything about a fake boxing match, it'd be the king of them.
Right. And it was certain parts that it was like, I don't want to give it away. Like I said, we just need to let it all out. Everything that everybody wants to talk about, so we can just close the chapter on this fight and continue on with our lives.
Yeah,
Then,
this is a big controversy.
right. And I already got the link for it. I put it in the description when I posted it, both on Facebook and for those who are listening. For those who are in my group chats. So there, the link is in there already. So I don't have to post it again. But we're going to talk about the Mike Tyson fight for about 30 minutes. Then for the next hour and a half, we're going to talk about Cobra Kai Season 6, Part 2, and everything that's left. We're going to... I want to say this. Is it a spoiler? Yeah, it would kind of be a spoiler. Yeah, but there's like one person that's left in the Karate Kid franchise that hasn't shown up in Cobra Kai. Everybody else has, or at least has been mentioned, except for this one.
I think one of them passed away to Dutch. He passed away before they can get him into the show.
Yeah,
But I think that's the only character I was like hoping to see. He won't show up because he passed away. But he was offered a part in it. He could have been in it, but they filmed it like months ago.
yeah. So other than those, one major person is left. I'm not going to give any spoilers for who's left because they might add this individual in. Still have my theory that somebody had a part in killing Tori's. God damn it! Well, no, I've already done season part 1. So it's been over a month. So spoilers for anybody who hasn't seen part 1 of season 6 Cobra Kai. You had a month. So, Tori's mom dies. She's on the floor with pills next to her. I think that either John Kreese or Terry Silver had something to do with it, some kind of way, shape, form, or fashion. I don't believe she just passed out and died, So it was some kind of conspired or murder or something. I don't know. So something else had to be going on with that. We still got the Mr. Miyagi, mystery going on. And I'm going to stop before I give spoilers. But yes, tomorrow it will not be live. Okay. I'm going to record it and then I'm going to release it later. But it's only for people who click on the link and say it's going to say spoilers. So I don't want like somebody to run across it like right now and hear spoilers for Cobra Kai season 6 part 2. So, and we're going to guess what's going to happen on part three because everything has to come full circle. Okay. Every character has to have a full circle, a full character arc, and everything. So, it's going to be interesting.
It's gonna be a discussion. That's what's gonna be. Very long discussion.
That's why I'm only giving the Mike Tyson fight 30 minutes in order for everybody to just air it out. Okay.
Get it over with.
Yes. And then the hour and a half to talk about Cobra Kai season 6, part 2 and 3. So, um, yes. Let's see what else we got here. Let me check the comments. Hold on. Ken Thomas says, "This is my type of conversation, bro." I appreciate you, brother. Add some more comments. We got a little time left. Actually, we're supposed to have 4 minutes left, but if you guys are just jumping in and you got something to add, I can stay on here. So, David, since you're on right now, fantasy crossovers. So, do you have any other ones that you can think about, or let's just say if you bring up a character, say like SpongeBob, I want somebody to fight SpongeBob or connect with SpongeBob or another character. You know what I'm saying? So, one I've always wanted to see if they did Star Wars and Star Trek. I still want to see Lieutenant Worf fight Chewbacca and see who would win. You know?
I think I think a lot of sports movies would be cool to interact with each other. Like I've always thought of like what if like Bobby Boucher met Rudy or something like that. Not Rudy, but somebody like that. Like what if Bobby Boucher met like the guy from The Longest Yard?
That's true too.
Like what a Happy Gilmore, met the Mighty Ducks. I don't know, stuff like that.
Right. Right. Oh man, that'd be something else. You know. Um That was another one other than the Water Boy, and he had like trigger words, and he was a football like Forrest Gump versus like Bobby Boucher from the Water Boy.
Yep.
Something like that. That would be cool. I'm glad you brought that up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, there's a lot of cool ideas. You know what I mean? It's just I forgot to come with a list. I usually have a list of characters that Mr. Scott will love this one. I forgot to come with a list this time.
And I can always do a part 2 of any discussion forums that I have. You know what I'm saying? So I've done like the Clarksdale Memphis discussion twice. I've done like Vernars doesn't know anime. I think I've done that a couple of times, and every time it's fresh new stuff that comes up. So if you want to, like, if you be like, hey, this would be good for your fantasy crossover part 2, let me know. It can be TV shows, like I said, like Fresh Prince and Family Matters. If they came together, which one would be good? Ken says Chewbacca would actually win. He is like that drunk uncle that holds back will dominate. I just love that analogy. He's so weird. Like he got him a snoot full. Man, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Ken, I appreciate that comment. That was actually kind of fun.
I got a good one. Like, what if Bruce Almighty met Little Nicky?
Ooh, that would be a good one. So it'd be God incarnate who has God's temporary powers versus the son of Satan.
And
man, that would be something.
And an angel.
Man.
Power of good.
You know what would be funny? If we took those two characters you just said. I don't know if you keep up with the Spawn comic series.
I don't. I've only seen the movie. I should try to get up that comics though.
Man, it's a great comic series. That's one of the few comic books where I try to buy all the comic books and read them and stuff like that. But there's one issue in the future, and I'm long story short, but Spawn's children or No, what was Spawn's wife named Wanda? Wanda married Spawn's best friend, and they had two kids, and they were twins. And they were wondering why the twins were doing crazy stuff, and they had seemed like they had powers. Long story short, they found out that their children were both God and Satan, like Jehovah and Satan, and they were like fighting each other. And so Spawn got the power to like go up against God and Satan, and eventually he won. He defeated both God and Satan. I'm not being derogatory towards any religious people, but with the whole
comics like that are very strange. I mean, they do a lot of that kind of. It's like Kratos, you know what I mean?
right, right, exactly like that, pretty much. Let me see. Daryl says Burt Reynolds beefing with Clint Eastwood. I often wanted to see Clint Eastwood go against John Wayne. That's another one. But
I was hoping for more of like a Chuck Norris versus Chuck Norris versus Clint Eastwood, because like one's like a karate cowboy and one of them's just like a traditional cowboy. You know what I mean?
Right. That would be a good idea. But back to your thing where, instead of having it all serious like the Spawn comic book does, it make it kind of comical, so it won't be less serious. So, God could be played by Jim Carrey, and Satan could be played by Adam Sandler. And just kind of make it a comedy and not make it where they're trying to kill each other, but have some goofy little scenario going on. So that's actually a good idea. Saying now that you brought that up. Yeah, there was another one I wanted to have. And I brought this up before on Facebook. I don't know if you've watched like the Andrew Griffith Show or the Beverly Hillbillies.
I haven't seen it. I've seen a couple of clips from the Beverly Hillbillies, but I haven't seen the Andy Griffith Show.
Oh, you need to. That's a feel good type of show.
I was more of an Addams Family kid.
The Addams Family is a great show. Of course, they brought that up before. Which one was better, the Munsters or the Addams Family?
Oh no, that'd be a good crossover. Not the Munsters, Addams Family. That's an obvious one. But like, what if the Beverly Hillbillies met the Addams Family? Now that right there is an interesting one.
That would be interesting writing.
Yeah,
that's better than me,
because you get the grandmama Adams meeting the grandma from because they both like cook some weird wacky stuff. You know what I mean?
Right.
That'd be a cool crossover.
Sorry about that, David. Steven, what's going on, man?
Hey, Bernard, how's it going, bro?
Man, it is an honor to have you on here. I'm glad you caught us before we quit. I'm gonna stay on here a little bit longer now that you're on there.
Well, don't stay on too long. I just popped in to see what y'all was talking about.
Man, we've been talking about crossovers. He just brought up the Addams Family and the Beverly Hillbillies getting together and having a show together, like an episode.
That would be a definite crazy crossover.
And that was better than what I thought about. I was thinking about like you watched the Andy Griffith Show, right?
Oh yeah.
You remember the Darlings on there?
Oh yeah, I think so. They were like the hillbilly family.
You're right. And I was thinking like the Darlings and the Clampetts from the Beverly Hillbillies, but he brought up the Addams Family and the Clampetts, which would be more interesting because the Addams Family I don't even know if they're demons or they're just a regular family who acts weird. I have no idea.
Addams Family is just a weird family, if you ask me.
They're just weird.
Yep.
Okay. What you think, David?
I think that the Addams Family is just like they're very supernatural, but they're just weird. You know what I mean?
Okay.
They're just really into the supernatural stuff.
Because I got confused a lot of times, especially now the one with Ralph Julia is just absolutely excellent. I love the hell out of that movie. But the part where their children, like a Wednesday was coming with some kind of big knife, and the mom was like, "Give me that," and she gave him a big old axe, and it's like, "This is what you can hit your brother with." And I was like, "What the hell?"
That's what I'm saying. They're supernatural, but they're mostly weird.
Okay. So I'm like, what in the world? So but that's good. You always need that sense of mystery. You don't need every question answered. You know what I'm saying?
But I think that's why it'd be a good crossover, though. I mean, you get because they're the Clappets. They're very weird too in their own special way. They're very country based more than supernatural. But like I think Granny Clampett meeting the grandma from Adam's family would be very interesting because they both cook weird stuff. I mean, what do they cook up?
Right. Right. Steven, I got a question for you. David, very helpful tonight. There was a couple that he didn't, shows that he didn't know. Let's just see if you can answer some questions on them. Have you seen both of these shows?
Oh yeah, Sanford the Son and All in the Family.
Yes, sir. So if these two went at it, which one do you think will win the insult battle? I guess.
Oh, Fred Sanford, most definitely.
You think so?
Oh yeah, Archie Bunker. He's not as much as an insult guy. He's more of a irritated guy. But Sanford, yeah, he definitely has the insults down.
Oh, okay. Now Ken says, David, I see your comment. It's between Tommy and Jason, and Ken replied to it's between Tommy and Jason. Tommy is a go-to, what Ken said. And Daryl said the best version would be the Beverly Hillbillies landing at the Addams Family house. Okay. Y'all getting some good ideas tonight. Oh, y'all brainstorming. But Stephen, I would say, Fred G. Sanford, he has the better quips. And Archie is great, you know what I'm saying? But he's more like, he's racist, but it's more like he's asking a question, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's going on? Fred will be like, hey, this is what's going on,
Just remember what Fred G. Sanford said. W pleasure, W fun. Fred G. Sanford, the G ain't for gum.
Man.
That's from an episode. He actually said that. I never forget that episode. That rhyme that he used. For some odd reason. W pleasure, W fun. Fred G. Sanford, the G ain't for gum.
I love Fred, the way he always made stuff up.
Oh, yeah. He was the best, man. He was the greatest.
I'm going to mix champagne and Ripple and get Sham Pipple.
Sham Pipple. Ripple, you big dummy.
And I always bring this one up, and I'm going to bring it up again and again. If the Killakrane himself went against Daniel LaRusso, Daniel will give him a good fight, but the Killakrane, as you can see, has fire coming out his fist. So,
I don't know. That's a tough one, man. I'm watching season 6 of Cobra Kai now, and it's a tough one.
Brother, we were just talking about that. Join us tomorrow at 7 p.m. right here. The link is already. I can put you on the give you the link. But
I'll see it tomorrow at 7.
What's that?
I said I'll see it tomorrow at 7 p.m. I'm usually on late at night.
Okay. And it's Eastern time. I don't know where you're located at.
I'm Central, so it'll be about 8 p.m. my time.
Okay, it might be 6 p.m. I think I think it's 6 p.m. If I'm not mistaken. I might be wrong, but I think that 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central.
Okay, 6 p.m. All right.
You know what? Lamar had to correct me 1,000,000 times on that because I always got the time wrong when he did podcasts.
I keep forgetting you're in Georgia. You're not in Mississippi anymore.
I need to be in Mississippi. That's why I need to be. So I'll just put it like that. So Ken said Archie will take his time giving up lip, but Fred will cut it with "you big dummy" and walk off. So that's his comment. Yep. Fred always got something to say. You know what I'm saying? So you're not gonna beat him, especially he has that he practices with what's his name? Aunt Esther. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you big heathen.
What'd you say?
You big heathen. Reggie Sanford, you need the Lord. Oh, Esther and her Bible.
High glory. Like, Esther, why don't you push your face in some dough and make gorilla cookies?
I miss Sanford and Son. They need more shows like that on TV nowadays.
Man, ooh,
You can't
you
push the
remind me,
limits anymore. Now everything's got to be PC. You can't have anything controversial or anything
right?
like that on television anymore.
David, I was and you brought up a good point, Stephen. In conjunction with what Stephen just said, would y'all like to do an episode like that didn't age well and bring up shows that people wouldn't accept nowadays?
That would be an interesting show.
Hmm. What you think, David?
I think it'd be very interesting. The thing is though, it would take more than a week to prepare for. I mean, because there's like a bunch, you know what I mean? There's like so many. You gotta have a list. You gotta write that down, man.
Man, you are absolutely correct. And I watched this so many times, and it don't never get old to me. This movie, y'all remember Airplane?
Oh yeah, Shirley. Don't call me Shirley.
Oh, the little boy came up to the girl and was giving her some coffee. He was like, "Would you like cream?" She's like, "No, I like it black, like my men." And he was like,
My favorite is when they're talking to the brothers on the plane, the two guys. She's like, "Excuse me, sir, I speak jive." What's the big deal, brother? She's just going all in with all this jive talk.
"What is it? Hang loose, blood. I'm gonna catch you on the rebound on the mid side."
There you go. Oh shit!
I love that movie, man. As well, I do. I hate to say the word "do" twice, but I do conduct like watch throughs with certain movies, especially the older ones. It won't be live, but it will be recorded, and I'll cut out the pieces. Like as we watch the movie, I'll cut out the pieces when y'all want to comment. I'll pause it, and out of a 2-hour movie, it might be like 12 minutes of commentary by us. You know what I'm saying? And with the Cobra Kai, it won't be live either. That's why I'm doing it at a special time instead of today. Because if I did it today and somebody's watching, they might run across and get spoilers for part 2. So this won't be live tomorrow, but I will record it and tell everybody, hey, spoilers. If you click on this link, you're gonna get spoilers. So but y'all can discuss part 1 of season Cobra Kai. You know what I'm saying? Because it's been over a month. So if you ain't seen it yet, then I'm sorry, I can't hold off forever. You know what I'm saying? So you can discuss part 1, but you can't discuss part 2. And none of us can describe part 3 because it ain't came out yet,
Well, I hadn't even finished part 2 of the Cobra Kai yet. I'm still on it, so I don't ruin no spoilers.
Okay.
I'm just now with the Seikai Tekai.
Ooh, God dog it. Just you saying that makes me want to talk about it. And oh my God.
I haven't even seen the part where they supposedly have Mr. Miyagi in it yet.
Oh, you haven't seen that part yet?
No, haven't even gotten to that part yet. I know they're supposed to show him in it, some kind of digital recreation of him, but I haven't seen it.
You know what? I'm gonna do this number right here.
Don't do it. Don't spoil it. Don't spoil it.
I still ain't. I would beat my own self up if I told you. You know what I'm saying?
Now I'm gonna have to go watch it when I get off this thing. When I get off the live with you, I'm gonna go watch it.
Okay. Now, Ken says, what did he say? Venaris, tag me tomorrow so I can join at the right time. Ken, I just added you to the group chat. So I need you, what you can do is check the group chat that I just put you in. And once, you should go up and down in the group chat. And I've already posted the link, but I'll post it again tonight. You know what I'm saying? So you can know the episode that we're going to do tomorrow. But it's the one, it says we're going to finally lay to rest this Mike Tyson fight. So we get it out of everybody's system. So we'd never discuss it again. And then we're going to talk about Cobra Kai for the next hour and a half. So, whoo! And then I'm going to, of course, make the announcements about the movie that we can do the watch through. We're going to have to do the 5 Heartbeats again. I never did Coming to America, so we're going to do that. We're going to watch that movie and do commentary. the Karate Kid, we're gonna do that since everybody is invested in the Cobra Kai thing. So there's a lot of movies and TV shows. Steven, I love it when you post about Saturday morning cartoons and stuff. We can always do that, man.
I love my Saturday morning cartoons. I miss the 80s and 90s just for Saturday morning cartoons, man.
Man, you know, I wish you had to join. I could do a part 2 where we talked about old commercials, and we had me and Lamar and the rest of them on there. And we talked about old Clarksdale commercials and Memphis commercials, but we could do commercials for everybody because we talked about do you remember the Memphis commercial about get that dope out your vein and hope in your brain?
Slightly, but I didn't have cable when I was living in Clarksdale, so I didn't really have. Well, I had a little cable basic, but I didn't watch much news or anything or much regular TV. My TV mainly consisted of cartoons and MTV.
Hey, MTV, that thing that used to have music in it.
Yeah, you remember that thing? It used to have music in it. Yeah.
With old Kurt Cobain and what's the name of that news, whatever they have for MTV News or whatever?
MTV News, that was it. Kurt Loder.
Kurt Loder, that's the name of him. I remember they used to have what's his name? Not Ren and Stimpy. What's them two ignorant boys used to watch music? Dave, you know what I'm talking about?
Beavis and Butthead.
Beavis and Butthead, yeah. And they'd be like, "You said load."
They're still on TV. They're on Paramount now.
Are they really?
They got brand new episodes.
Oh, ooh, I gotta check that out.
Oh, they're funny. They go to therapy. They go to a mental health therapy hospital in one of the episodes just to score with chicks.
What?
Oh yeah.
They finally got them some.
Oh, they're off the chain. There's something else.
Oh my God. Need to make fun of these rap videos nowadays. They're such crap. You know, the women seem to be the better ones. Let me see. Ken says also do Michael J. White in the movie Bones. That would be good. That's the one I think he was like in the UFC type ring, and he was doing forms, and they were making fun of him because he was doing the katas and the forms, and he used it in the ring. I think that was Bones, if I'm not mistaken. And hold on, wrong movie, Blood and Bones. And Daryl says, "Old cigarette advertising commercials are nostalgic." I'm adding that in there.
You want to talk about old movies that bring back nostalgia. Right now on Netflix, they got the movie The Last Dragon.
What?
Yep, Shogun, Shona.
Oh,
who's the baddest Shogun in Harlem? Shona.
Man,
Bruce Leroy, he'll beat you.
Who's the master?
Shona.
Me and Marzell, we argue back and forth on whose girlfriend that is. Now what's her name? God dog it, her name just escaped me right quick. The main female lead in that movie.
Lauren, I don't know her real name, but I know she goes by the name Lauren in the movie. Or Laura.
Yeah.
Vanity, that's her name. That's her
Vanity. That's what it is. Yep. And me and him go back and forth like, no, that's my girl. No, that's my girl. You know what I'm saying? So,
I think that was every young guy's girl back then.
What'd you say?
I think that was every young guy's girl back then when you saw that movie.
Absolutely. That's another episode we can do. And if you're married, you might get in trouble for this episode, but like your first crushes back in the 80s and 90s, you know.
Oh yeah.
And David, I know you were not around in the 80s or 90s, but you know what I'm saying? You can still join in, you know.
I mean, I grew up with only 90s stuff because I lived in the mountains.
Oh. Okay.
I mean, I lived in the mountains with nothing but a VCR and old movies, so I know a lot about it.
Oh, he knows a VCR, Steven. He all right.
Well, if he knows how to operate a VCR, he's in the good graces of this channel.
I'm telling you. Oh, I gave one of my daughters a record, and I was like, "Do you know how to play this?" She was like, "How do you play this DVD?" I was like, "It's not a DVD, you know.
Trying to
It's a
explain a
record."
record to a child. That's amazing.
Yep. Let me see. Who is that? Okay. Ken Thomas says The Last Dragon. Man, oh my God, you're right. I forgot about that one. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The Last Dragon. That's another versus battle because we as black people always make the joke that Bruce Leroy was the first Super Saiyan, live action Super Saiyan. Because the way he glowed at the end, you know.
I mean, it's true though. I mean, think about it. I mean, have you seen a Super Saiyan in live action at all yet?
No, and we're not counting that Dragon Ball Z evolution. That was absolute crap. It never existed. That was a Mandela effect. The movie never existed. We need to talk about that again. We did it before, the Mandela effect. And I might be redundant and do some of the same thing because what I do is I'll post it up there, two different things, and you guys got to guess which one. Like, did the Monopoly Man have a monocle or not? You know what I'm saying? You have to guess.
No,
You know?
he never had a monocle. That's for certain.
Some
I
people
played enough Monopoly in my younger days to know that.
Some people argue back and forth, and I made.
I've heard those arguments on the Mandela effect. I think that's a giant government psyop, if you ask me.
What you think, David?
Hmm?
What you think about the Mandela effect?
I think it's real. I don't like it, but I think it's real. A lot of stuff happens. I'm like, I don't like knowing that. That's different. I don't like it. Because it's always the stuff I'm like, oh, I know that for sure. And then all of a sudden it's like, actually. There's a time where the biggest one is the Darth Vader one. You know what I mean? It's like, no, Luke, I am your father. And that one, that's like the biggest one that was like, nah, you're wrong.
Right. I think because we're so used to saying it, like if we get a box fan and we go up in and say, Luke, I'm your father. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's because I think in the movie Tommy Boy with Chris Farley, he goes up to the fan and he says, Luke, I am your father.
Steven's
I popped out for a second. I accidentally hit the wrong button.
Oh, I do that all the time, brother, and I'm the host.
That makes me feel real reassured now.
I make mistakes like that all the time. So I embarrass myself if I told you all the stories like that. But all right, one more question. Since we're on the Mandela effect, the Sinbad Genie movie, did it exist or not?
For some odd reason, I seem to remember that movie. But even though people say it was a Mandela effect, he never did that movie or something, or a lot of people say he never did that movie, and a lot of people say he did. For some odd reason, I remember a Sinbad Genie movie. I don't know why I remember. It wasn't called Shazam or Kazam or something. He played a genie in a movie. He did play a genie parts in a movie once, and I can't remember which one it was, but it wasn't a Shazam. It wasn't called Shazam. It was called something else. But he played a part as a genie.
Yeah, you know, I just personally feel I made a whole video of it on my YouTube. I think that a lot of people are getting it mixed up with the Shaq Genie movie, which I will say that happened, but you know, because I don't know, for some reason, it was some of them parts of it is just absolutely cringy. You know what I'm saying? But you know, that where Shaq is trying to rap and stuff like that. I guess because I kind of like Shaq, but I think a lot of people getting it confused. The Sinbad Genie that they think existed with the Shaq Genie movie. I don't know. That's just my opinion. You know what I'm saying?
It could be. It could be.
I don't know. I'd love to hear y'all thoughts on it. We got to get back into part 2 of the Mandela effect. And we're going to repeat some of the ones I used from last time because it's been over a year. So I'm sure even if people watch that episode, they're still not going to remember the answers or whatever. So I'm going to have to do a part 2 of the Mandela effect. And the ones about the movies that didn't age well. It's so many of them. You know what I'm saying? Even like I think I've talked about it in Living Color to the oh God, I didn't talk about that so much. So I probably won't include that this time. Um, let me
Hope we
see.
don't play that.
Yeah, exactly. One of the ones I know that they can't play is like the Handyman.
Welcome to this old box. My name is Anton, and this is my home / living room / dining room / bathroom. I love it. That's my favorite episode when they do this old box on the public access network. He
Uh huh.
starts flipping through all his tools. You got your screwdriver. Oh, I need a little bit more of that. Just taking a screwdriver. Damon, that's a show. That's a show that we need to come back. That needs to come back on the air in living color. We need to have more shows like that back on the air, back on TV. Stuff that pushes the limits.
Right. And Saturday Night Live is great in a way, but it doesn't really push the envelope. It stays right there at the safe zone. You
Yep.
know, even though they're trying to do like Black Jeopardy, it's funny, but and mostly they just make fun of politicians and stuff. And it's like, they're just trying to really squeeze out the black fact. I don't know. It's no one living color.
There's only so much political jokes a person can take at the end of the day. Politics is one of those things that I'm done listening to the jokes. I'm done listening to it. I want to watch a show where there's no politics in it. And when you watch in living color during that time, they didn't do political sketches. Like, they didn't do those. Their sketches were based on comedy, based on, just funny stuff.
Right.
Like anytime they made fun of Oprah or anytime they made fun of, Ricky Lake or Donahue or something like that, they were making fun of like TV shows with like white trash rednecks on them, things like that.
Right. and sometimes they had that one episode. I remember they were making fun of what's his name, Mr. Rogers. Now, Mr. Rogers, he was never in the news for being a pedophile or groping women, but in the living color, they made fun of him. But he never did have that reputation. You know what I'm saying? And so a lot of people get that confused because I had to argue some people down that the worst Pee Wee Herman did, that he was in an X-rated movie and he exposed himself. You know what I'm saying? So he never did molest anybody. He never did rape anybody. But, a lot of people say he did that just to get in the public's eye again, But that's another one, another crossover I was thinking about. Pee Wee Herman and Ernest.
That'd be a good one. Yeah,
that would be a good
Pee
one.
Wee Herman. I always thought those two would be a good, combo because I forgot Ernest's show's name, but like because of Pee Wee's Playhouse and Ernest's whole thing where they have little clips of like their own little like special jokes and stuff. The only crossover they ever had was when Ernest was hosting like a show. I don't remember. I think it was Kids WB, and he was like, "You guys gotta check out this brand new Pee Wee Herman episode coming out." It was really good.
Man, I gotta, now that you said that, I'm gotta go look it up on YouTube because I didn't see that one. So,
hey, Vanaris, I'm going to drop out, but I'm going to join you tomorrow for the next one.
Okay, I appreciate you joining. We're finna close out in a minute anyway. So,
all right, I'll let y'all later.
All right, brother. All right. So let me check the comments before we go. Ken says, "Wow, I seen that. I thought he played a genie also. I wasn't tripping. I know I wasn't tripping." Ken, I got you in the group chat. We're gonna bring that up at a later thing. So I have my opinions about that. Other people will support you 100%. Other people will say, no, it didn't happen and have proof. This is going to be a great conversation. So just stick with us, answer the group chat, you know what I'm saying? So let me, before we get going, let me do my shout outs real quick.
Wait, I got one last question. One more versus battle real quick. It'll be real quick.
Please, go ahead.
If Bruce Leroy did not have the glow, who would win in a fight? Bruce Leroy or Daniel LaRusso? And that's only if he didn't have the glow magical abilities he has.
I would still say Bruce Leroy for the pure fact that, Daniel LaRusso, to me, he's still, just being a martial artist myself, a lot of the forms of his kicks and his techniques, they don't look as crisp as somebody who actually knows martial arts. As a matter of fact, um, what it's not Ralph Julia. What's his real name?
Ralph Macchio.
Ralph Macchio. He had said they asked him, "Do you have a black belt in real life?" And he was like, "I have a beige belt." You know what I'm saying? So he knows just enough to do the stuff in the movies. But you can tell from a martial artist standpoint, even when he did that kick in Cobra Kai, where he went to the rival car dealerships, and he did a spinning inside crescent kick, and he knocked the whatever T or whatever that was in the dude's hand. I could tell that his technique was not exactly. He didn't raise his knees up the way he's supposed to, the way he turned his hips. So I don't know. Just from my viewpoint, Bruce Leroy's techniques look a lot crisper. They look a lot faster. He retracts his punches and kicks. So, but in universe, I don't know. Because both of them could have plot armor.
I mean, it's like a question of karate versus kung fu, really. You know what I mean? It's one of those questions, like one of the thinkers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good question, though.
I think it'd be really cool to see, because like those are the two biggest martial artist characters that aren't based off of real people. You know what I mean? Like in the
Right.
'80s, the two biggest martial artist characters that aren't actual actors and real martial artists.
Right.
'Cause, like,
And
you got Bruce Lee, you got Jet Li, you got Jackie Chan. You know these people. You know that they're martial artists, but the fictional ones that don't exist in real life, that don't really have a lot to back up what they're saying. Who would win?
yeah, and you got to understand the philosophies are the same with Daniel and Bruce Leroy. Both of them don't want to fight, and they'll sit there and like, I don't want to fight you. You know what I'm saying? And so, they're very much pacifist, and they'll do anything in order to not fight. You know what I'm saying? So, that's a very excellent question. That's one of them things you got to think about while you're in the shower and you're relaxed, and you can think about it, a little bit deeper or something.
No distractions.
Right, right. So, interesting.
That was
And
my
of
last
course,
question. Let's see you close this out so that we can finally get some rest, man.
right. But let me do the shout outs real quick. We got my boy Jeffrey Jaramillions. Please, Jeffrey, please come on here. I have to know how to pronounce your name, but let me remove this banner right quick. His book is out on Amazon. It's called When Happiness Spreads. We also have my girl Monique Silver, Untold Lies of a Silent Heart. Please check that out. It is out on Amazon. You can also check out my book, Planet Football and Heretic Kitten. It is available on Amazon. If you want a description of the book, it's in there. I can do a video if you want me to, explaining the book. Blackjack and the Beanstalk, that is my other book that is available on Amazon. And of course, if you go to my my store, I'll leave the link. I didn't do it this time, but my store on Printify is called By Venaris, and it has my brand Rep to Sip, which means representing, and the sip is Mississippi, so it's pretty much representing Mississippi. I have over 36 items on my store. It's called By Venaris, so check it out when you can. It's on Printify. Let's see. We have Everest Productions, The Juice Weezer, and you said on this channel on YouTube you have what, David?
On the Juice Reasons, we have gaming streams. We play video games. We have fun. We have sometimes we do some comedy sketches. I don't know. We do some fun stuff. We have a fun time. We don't do podcasts or anything. We just do gaming. Play some games, have some fun. Relax. Sometimes we used to have Venara show up one now and then to play some games with us. But yeah, we usually have a fun time. And Everest Productions is again my best friend Lord Crit's production company. We make fictional stuff. We make fan fiction stuff and make fan films, fan shows, fan dubbing, which is we get a comic and then we dub it over. I play Robin in our Batman series we got going on right now. It is pretty good stuff, and he's working on some newfangled stuff that's looking really good. And yeah, that's what that is.
Uh, and the people who you have who are doing animation, if you can, give me their information, send them my way because, like the Family Matters thing that I want to do, and the live action, Planet Furball stuff. You guys are more than happy to do voice acting on there if you wish. You know what I'm saying? But that's the missing piece that I need right now. I've written the scripts and everything. I just need like animators, even if it's still animation. You know what I'm saying? So, um, yeah, so thank you, David, for that. Oh, we got two comments that are left. Daryl West says, my gator radar or detector would go off easy every time I saw Pee Wee Herman on TV. I don't know, but he always did give me off that vibe. You know, he wasn't exactly the manliest man, which is, I was a complete goofball. So I kind of fell in love with him. But yeah, I understand why you would say that. Daryl West said, by the way, I am homophobic. Thank you for that confession. We will get into that in a later podcast. You know what I'm saying? But I appreciate all the comments, brother. I really do. You know, from Daryl, from Ken. Who else has been on here? You, David. Appreciate that.
Damien Noir was here. He was the beginning, the first couple of messages.
Yeah, I wonder where his messages went to. I don't see it on here anymore.
They're on the top, so.
Okay. Yeah, my boy, Damon. I always appreciate you. He always sending me good stuff in my inbox. Like my boy Philip, I try to get to. You guys can send me whatever you want to in my messenger. I can't get to everything, but I always try to at least watch 2 or 3 videos that you guys send me, and I try to leave a comment the best way I can. So I really really appreciate everybody who posts stuff on my page. I appreciate everybody who tags me and stuff. I really appreciate everybody who's watching this. Speaking of which, my girl, the Love of Tea Experience, she's still doing that. She sells a lot of all natural products, skin cream, stuff like that. She still has her podcast going on. My boy Barrington Martian, you're wrong if you have not seen The Biting on Tubi so far. He has a whole bunch of other stuff on Barrington Martian's Productions. My boy Lamar Hicks, he's going to take a hiatus from his podcast, Flavor in Your Ear, but he will continue, and I will post it when he starts doing it again. Of course, I already talked about that. I play video games just like David does. I'm not as sophisticated as David. However, I do every now and then play old school video games, and we can do it live. You are watching the Killakrane Speaks On. You can watch it on my YouTube channel, which is Killakrane Productions, KILLAKRANE Productions. You can also email me if you have any ideas, if you have any recommendation, if you know anybody who edits books or does animation, I can use some help. Killakrane Productions at gmail.com. That's KILLAKRANE Productions at gmail.com. You can get me up on Instagram at Vinaris Killakrane Productions. That's my first name, VINARIS KILLAKRANE Productions. I'm also on what do you call that thing? I'm forgetting all this stuff. What's the TikTok? And it's what is it? Vinaris being Vinaris. So my first name is spelled VINARIS by BYVINARIS. So check me out on TikTok. I have not made a bunch of videos, but I will. So David, do you have any shout outs or anything before we leave?
Nothing comes to mind yet. I will say we are gonna be releasing. We found a Batgirl, which is a current actress for a Batgirl. We've been looking for one for the last year, which is why we haven't updated and posted a new video yet. But now that we have one, we should be getting back to the Batman comic dub, and I should be back to playing Robin. So you get to see your favorite Robin actor since Chris O'Donnell show up and voice act and have a good time. So yeah.
if you need a voice actor, my girl Christy Hernandez, I hate to put you on the spot, but she said she wanted to work with me on Planet Football and Heretic Kitten. I can get back with her and a few of my other background actors who are looking for work, and they can be background actors or voice actors if you need some recommendations. Um, I can help you out. Like I said, I need animators, even if it's just one frame per 10 seconds or one frame per, action or whatever. Anybody that's good with digital art. Oh, I also need a digital artist to draw different stuff since I'm selling products. And I have a candle, a scented candle that's made specifically for my brand. Then I need a label made and I have a specific name. I'm not going to say it here, but if you guys know anybody that knows how to do digital arts, I appreciate it. So I don't have to go to Fiverr and hire, what do you call it, strangers and stuff. So just let me know. Daryl says LOL to something. I wasn't watching. But anyway, yeah, check out, just get back with me, you guys. Tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will be doing the like I said, the Mike Tyson fight. We're going to close that out, and then Cobra Kai season 6, part 2. We're going to discuss it and get your predictions for part 3, which will close out the season. All right. I think I've covered everything. Anything else, David?
Nothing comes to mind, so I think we can just close this out so you can finally get some rest, man.
I know, right? We went 30 minutes over, so yep. So, all right, man, I appreciate those who are watching right now, those who will be watching in the future, those who have left comments and everything. I appreciate it. Please give me suggestions. Go on my Facebook page, The Killakrane Speaks On, and send me a message for an idea for a future podcast. And I promise we'll get to it in one way, shape, form, or fashion. Thank you, guys. You guys have a good night. Take care.